I'm Chris Silvio.
This is Michael Hayes.
This is Jason Wade.
And you're watching Triple Threat Talk. Yeah!
And welcome everyone to another exciting edition of Triple Threat Talk. Today on the show, we talk about Tony Stewart. We talk about the NFL, the NCAA. But first, as usual, user questions.
Alrighty, guys, from Against All Odds 20, thank you, sir. Do you guys think that Bryan Danielson will win the title at WrestleMania 28?
Who's Bryan Danielson?
Who's Bryan Danielson?
I know that is.
Oh, Daniel Bryan.
Oh, okay.
Clever.
He's going to cash it in, and it's been a 100% hit rate so far. So I'd say yeah.
I mean, obviously we're going. Would you like to see that?
No.
I
think it'd be a fail.
I don't know because we'll get into Survivor Series later, but Mark Henry is still champion. If you didn't know, who's next for Mark Henry? And do you really honestly see? Because the way they're building Daniel Bryan as the Money in the Bank person, because usually the Money in the Bank is the element of surprise. Mm-hmm. But do you honestly see the way they're pushing Daniel Bryan right now as like, okay, when WrestleMania rolls around, do you see this guy as world champion? I don't.
No.
So unless they do something drastically to push him, where it's like, okay, I can see this guy as world champion on SmackDown, they're not really doing that at the moment, so I don't see him winning.
I agree. From Guitar Hero 3214, if you could pick a wrestler from any time period, past or present, to push to the top of the mountain, who would it be?
Oh, God, that's tough.
Very good question.
I think, it's just so hard for me to get past Shawn Michaels, not because of personal bias, but just because...
But he's already been at the top.
He's already been at the top.
He's been at the top of the top.
Yeah.
He couldn't go any higher.
Exactly.
I just don't know. Maybe you could make a case, maybe for Owen Hart.
Okay.
Maybe you could do that, but
no one knows if he would have gotten to the top anyway.
No one would have known. No one knows if he would have got to the top. But I would say him or the British Bulldog. I think they were both pretty good.
Heart Foundation. Yeah. I'm gonna go past. I was gonna make a joke, but I'm not gonna make a joke. I was gonna say John Cena. He's never gotten a push, but I'm gonna pick Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig. I think it's a shocker that you look back at his credentials and he was never world champion or anything. Doesn't make sense to me, the kind of talent he was and how great he was in the ring, on the mic. He had the whole package, so I would definitely think he should have gotten pushed to the top.
I was going to make a joke about Owen Hart, too, but I left it alone.
Ooh. Come on now.
Yeah, anyway. I think John Morrison.
Yeah, I agree.
I think he's been underused.
Absolutely.
He's very underrated. He definitely should have way more titles than he already has had. I realize he had a long reign with Joey Mercury and Melina with Eminem, and he's won some smaller titles, but he's never really got that shoved to the top.
Yeah, I don't count the ECW title either.
Yeah, that doesn't really count. So I think John Morrison.
Yeah.
From JB11.
JBL.
2011, and this question's funny. Why is it that Scott Steiner uses so much steroids? But hasn't died like everybody else?
First of all, I'll pose the question to you, JB11, 2011. Do you want him to die?
Time to die!
Is that what you're asking?
I don't know. I mean, medical mysteries happen all the time. I do like that question, though. I think it's funny.
Well, he is the genetic freak,
yeah.
So maybe there's something genetic wrong with Scott Steiner.
He's a freak, all right.
I
don't know why he hasn't, kicked the bucket, so to speak. Maybe he's in good physical health, but I don't know. But
is that like maybe he's a member of Allstate. You're in good hands with Allstate.
I don't know.
Good hands.
Scott Steiner
with Allstate.
He's got, obviously you can tell Scott Steiner's not everything working up there. So.
All right. Do you agree with the fact that The Undertaker is the most respected wrestler ever?
No, because he's not. I mean, you could throw out Michaels, you could throw out Bret Hart, you could throw out The Undertaker. I'm not going to say no to that. You could throw out Hulk Hogan. You could throw out Andre the Giant. You could throw out several names. Ric Flair, Triple H. There's several out there. I just don't think that. It's purely the Undertaker.
Taker obviously comes to mind first for me. Obviously, I think he's the most respected just because WrestleMania streak. He didn't really have any issues that you can think of. Like, obviously the doctor said Michaels, and yeah, it could be Michaels now, but back then nobody liked Michaels. He wasn't really respected just because of the way he acted. Triple H's the same way. Bret Hart, I guess you can say that too, but again, the Montreal Screwjob, how he reacted, that whole issue thing. It could be The Rock. I mean, right now, it might be John Cena. I don't know. But Taker's a good pick, but I'd probably go with, currently right now, I'd probably say John Cena just because how he promotes the company.
I think Undertaker, yes, that's a good, he is one of the most respected wrestlers ever. I'd have to agree with that, and I have to agree with Big B as well, that John Cena's right up there as far as one of the most well-respected wrestlers from today. And to kind of talk about Shawn Michaels for a second, I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but I thought this was pretty awesome. Mattel, you know how they handle the action figures for WWE, are releasing the Rockers out, the Elite action figures. And I thought if you guys get a chance to check that out, it's pretty awesome looking. So, from the Michael Cage, do you think that Dave Bautista will ever come back, or is he done?
I don't know. I think he's done if he hasn't come back by now. I just don't know. I mean, he's not getting any younger.
With certain people, you never say never. And I think Batista might be one of those people. Because I know he wanted to do a mixed martial arts thing, and I don't think that worked out to how he wanted it to. If you don't know, if you've been following the WWE 12 game, he's actually in the game as DLC, so maybe that's preluding something, I don't know. But I don't think Batista is officially done. Until Batista says, I'm not coming back, then he's not coming back. I think there could be opportunity for Batista to come back. Right now, I don't know, but I don't think Batista is done.
All right. Also from the Michael Cage, and this is a very interesting question. If the three of us owned a wrestling company that involved WWE, TNA, and ROH, what would our show be called? So I guess individually, what would your show be called? And who would be the first 5 wrestlers, divas, or superstars you would pick?
I think it'd be called, to make a joke from the very first time we ever filmed the show, I think it would be Triple Threat Wrestling.
Or TQ!
Or TQ! Unaired clip, kind of screwed up. I'm not sure, did we ever air that?
No, it was the first
episode.
episode.
The first episode. It was aired.
Was it aired?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
The first minutes that we were on the air, that's what they saw.
Triple Threat Cube, yeah. But I think you'd have to make a case for definitely Joey Styles, or AJ Styles, sorry. I think The Undertaker would have to be on there somehow. You'd have to throw in John Cena, unfortunately.
Yeah, do it.
I think Gail Kim. I think I do like her. Her and Kelly.
You like her, huh?
Well, not like that.
I
think her.
We're not letting Erica hear that.
Whoa.
She might not be very happy with you about that.
Speaking of that, I have to show she's been on my case. She let us use the horse for that skit. I had to thank her. Thank you, sweetie, for letting us use the horse. And that was an awesome
I'm on a horse.
I'm on a horse. But anyways.
For me, I'm going to pick one more organization. OVW. For somebody. I'm going to go WWE first. You know, again, like Gary said.
You don't have to necessarily pick one from each one.
Well,
Unless you want to.
I'm not. John Cena from WWE. TNA, I have to go with AJ Styles. ROH, I'm going to pick probably Roderick Strong, I think is my favorite ROH. I'm going to go back to WWE and pick Sheamus.
Sheamus.
And then I'm going to go to OVW and pick my favorite, Rudy Switchblade.
What would your show be called?
Oh, you didn't say that either.
Yes, you did. Triple Threat Wrestling one.
Seriously?
Yeah, they said if the 3 of us owned it.
Oh,
the 3 of us.
no, individually.
Oh, individually?
Like of your own, yeah. So you
No, I'd still call it Triple Threat Wrestling. Why not?
I'm not good at coming up with names on the fly, so I'm just going to use Destruction.
Destruction.
This DWA.
Yeah, right.
All
Might as well.
The name of my show would probably be called Desecration.
Probably called Fail.
Can you
Whatever.
spell desecration?
Yes, I can.
DES Creation.
I knew that.
And my 5 wrestlers would have to be probably John Cena,
Of course.
The Rock.
Boo.
Shut up. AJ Styles. Alex Silva, because he's
I knew it was
epic. And Samoa Joe.
What about Epico?
Yeah. He's a 6 pick. I
He's
guess.
a 6 pick.
What about Paradise?
He's in there too.
Okay.
It's hard to say, but he
Alright.
said 5. I had to pick 5.
Alright.
Give me a break.
Alright.
From Blitzer 00.
Is that a new viewer?
Must be. He wants to know, and this leads right into our next. What happened to the buy-sell segment?
Well, you know what happened to it? We're going to get right back into it right now.
But before we do that, we need to anoint our weekly Viewer of the Week. So with that being said, I think that the Michael Cage, with the excellent question regarding the show and the 5 wrestlers, and
Very
the
good
Dave
question.
Batista question, deserves that honor. So, the Michael Cage, you are our Triple Threat Talk Viewer of the Week. So, Blitzer 00, to get back to your question, what happened to the buy-sell segment? Well, Doctor, why don't you surprise Blitzer?
You got your wish.
You got your wish. I'm going to have to say buy, sell the Bears without Jay Cutler.
Sell.
You're going to sell.
Sell them because... Well, we'll get to the next buy, sell in a minute. That's why I'm making my case for sell. Again, the Bears who have good offensive players. Matt Forte's playing well. Devin Hester out of his mind. And then the defense plays well. But they have 6 games left. 3 of them are winnable without Jay Cutler.
Yeah.
But the thing with Caleb Haney, he has not started a game all year. The only time he's played was in the playoffs last year.
Mhm.
That's it.
And he played out of his mind.
He played well. He did play well. But I think you're in what, week 11 now? Week 11?
Yeah.
Yes.
Going into week 12.
You're throwing him into the
I
fire.
think it's week 11.
No, we're in
Week
we just
12,
got-
yeah, you're
we're
right.
just going
You're
into
throwing
week
him, okay, week 12, even worse. You're throwing him into the fire towards the later part of the season. He's got to step up his game right now. And Cutler, Lovie Smith, he's optimistic. Oh, maybe Cutler will come back. Cutler will probably be back for the playoffs if the Bears still make it.
Playoffs?
Playoffs? But I saw the Bears without Jay Cutler. And they need, Cutler's not a great quarterback, but he's improved. Caleb Haney is not that guy right now.
I'm buying the Bears.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm buying the Bears is because, number one, their defense. Brian Urlacher is a machine.
Mhm.
He is a monster. That defense, they have a lot of playmakers on that field. And their special teams play. Devin Hester, come on. Jesus. When are people going to figure out you don't punt or kick the Devin Hester?
Kick out of bounds or...
You just don't do it. So, they got a good running game with Matt Forte. They got some playmakers on offense. Caleb Haney showed me something when he came in for Cutler last year. I'm not giving up on the Bears. I think the Bears still make the playoffs with a wild card because they're obviously not going to pass the Packers. But I still say the Bears. I stick by my pick early in the season that the Bears are going to make it with a wild card.
I could agree with you because I know the remainder of their schedule. I think they have the winnable games. They have the Chiefs, the Seahawks, and the Vikings. So if they win 3 out of those 6 games, they could possibly make the playoffs.
Right. They'll be 10-6.
Right.
Even if they only win 3 games, they're 10-6, and that's probably still good enough to get a wild card in the NFC.
When I was started thinking about this, I thought I was going to sell, but I think I'm going to buy. And to your point about Caleb Haney, I think Kevin Palco kind of showed everybody something this week. He played very well.
Tyler Palco,
thank you. Tyler Palco played very well for the Chiefs. The Chiefs got beat overall, but
they
it's
got
because
walloped.
They started falling apart.
Walloped.
But he started off really strong, throwing out short passes to Dwayne.
He did have several interceptions.
He had several interceptions, but it was his first game. He played really well for his first NFL game ever.
Sure.
He played well regarding that standard.
I know we're getting a little bit off topic here, but isn't it kind of weird? Okay, Tyler Palco, he's quarterback for the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Flacco left Pitt because of him to go play for Harvard.
Yeah.
Or
the Delaware.
Delaware, thank you. And I'm like, really? Now you look at it, you're thinking,
really?
Really? Pitt passed up Joe Flacco for this guy? It makes you wonder.
But yeah, I think I'm going to have to buy because Brian Urlacher is really good. We've got, of course, Matt Forte, Devin Hester.
He's phenomenal.
Ridiculous.
They've got a great staff up there, and they're going to find a way to adapt.
You sure you don't want to buy them?
I'm selling still.
I do say, though, the NFC North is by far the best conference this year out of all of them.
There's going to be teams with double-digit wins.
Yeah, they're going to send 3 teams to the playoffs.
Again, that brings in the factor, the NFC East, how close it is with the Giants. Only one team's going to get in from that.
Only one team. So. How about we go buy, sell Houston without Matt Schaub?
I buy.
You buy?
Because Arian Foster's healthy. I think Andre Johnson is back or he's coming back.
He's coming back.
And Matt Leiner's actually started before.
Who?
Matt Leiner.
Thank you.
Whatever.
Jesus. How can you not get his name right? It's not that hard.
Whatever. Anyway.
I corrected you 3 times last week.
He started for the Cardinals, so he has experience starting. Again, you might say, okay, He hasn't taken a snap all year, which is a con to him, negative. But I think Houston, they have a tremendous team, good defense, great running back in Arian Foster. I think they can get the job done without Matt Schaub for now.
I'm selling the Texans, although they may hang on and win the division. Just because they're so far ahead right now, and Tennessee can't figure out what they're doing with the quarterback situation. And obviously the Colts or the Dolts are a fail.
Indianapolis Dolts.
The Jackson failed. Jaguars are a fail.
Yeah, they are a fail.
So the Texans will probably hang on and win that division, but I don't even see them going far in the playoffs at all.
I think I'll buy because Arian Foster's their star player, and then you have two amazing tight ends, and Owen Daniels and Michael Dresden, and I think that even an inexperienced quarterback could throw to those guys. I think what you're going to see Houston go to a lot more is the two tight end, two running back set. You're going to see Ben Tate get a lot more carries. You're going to see Arian Foster get a lot more carries. And you're going to see it open up for Owen Daniels and Michael Dresden. And then when Andre Johnson comes back, they're going to do really well. And I think by then Leonard will have... Leinart. Why? He's got to have the hardest name to pronounce in the NFL besides Gronkowski and Gonikowski, really? But I mean,
you can say Gronkowski, but you can't say Leinart.
But I think I definitely buy it.
Yeah.
I definitely buy it. And then we'll do one more here. I'm going to throw a little bit of a curveball out at you all.
Whoa, curveball? We talking baseball?
Yeah. Because Yavid Best has been hurt.
That's baseball?
That's baseball?
I was joking. The Detroit Lions buy or sell Kevin Smith as the new running back for Detroit Lions, and not the comedian Kevin Smith.
I'm gonna say buy only because I think Javid Best is a good running back, but I think partially with good running backs they have a good offensive line. So I think the Lions' offensive line is good enough to help Kevin Smith get good yards and keep the Bears' offense going strong.
Bears again? You said
Lions
again. Jeez. Do we need to start over? Or do we go stop button and delete?
The Lions.
I'm going to sell because Javid Best is one of the keys that definitely got that motor going early. And the Lions have been on a downward spiral. The offense hasn't been clicking here lately. They need to get back to early season form. I realize, they did win this past week. But
it was a struggle.
They did struggle. And so I'm selling.
I got to buy because, it was only one game. It was one game. But he scored 2 rushing touchdowns and 1 receiving touchdown. Anytime you get a running back that's capable of throwing or that's capable of catching, like Arian Foster,
Absolutely.
Like Frank Gore, like Ben Tate, like anybody like that who can catch a ball in the open field and just haul off with it.
Right.
I think just because they're not a starter, we've seen this year more so than any with DeMarco Murray, Christian Ponder, these people coming off the bench and being able to play the game very well. I think Kevin Smith might be one of those other unfound treasures. He's got fresh legs. This was the second week he's played. I got to buy him. He's looking really good so far.
I was just laughing at you because you sound like one of those guys on Wall Street. Sell.
But yeah, good segment. Thank you for requesting Buy Sell to be back.
And so from there, guys, we move on to the 2011 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series champion.
I'm going left.
Stop it. Tony Smoke Stewart.
He did very well for himself.
Let's take a look at the clip here.
Oh, man.
2 of NASCAR's heavyweights going toe-to-toe, head-to-head, the final laps, and you won it and the championship. What's the emotion right now?
Oh, God. Thank the Lord for this one, buddy. Man, I'm telling you, it's been a tough summer and a tough fall for us, and you got to believe in something. And the man upstairs, and he held this rain off just long enough for us to get this job done. So this is for Sprint and all these fans up here that stuck it out all weekend here in Homestead. And oh my God, I don't care how long it rains, I'm gonna be up all night. This is oh my God, are you kidding me? For Office Depot, for Mobile One, Chevrolet, U.S. Army, Tornadoes, Quicken Loans, GoDaddy, Ritz, Oreos, Coca-Cola, just everybody that's a part of the Stewart Haas program. Mac Tools, we couldn't do it without you guys. It's just unbelievable. I mean, we said all week we just go out and win the race. We didn't have to worry about what he did, and that's what we did. And just if this doesn't go down as one of the greatest championship battles in history, I don't know what will.
All right, as you can see, he was definitely very ecstatic in his interview. Just some few stats I want to run by you guys as to why this could possibly be one of the most epic NASCAR seasons ever.
I thought you were going to go for the third one.
I could have. I should have for 3 times. So epic! There you go.
I don't
All right,
my mouth.
so 36 races, 18 different winners, 5 first-time winners, an upset in the Daytona 500, the Brickyard 400, the Darlington 500, all prestigious races, upset in those races. The championship comes down to a tie. It was actually tied. It come down to tiebreaker. Tony Stewart wins the tiebreaker because he had 5 wins. Carl Edwards had 1. The ratings for the final race up 13% overnight. So definite. Good job all around NASCAR. You got
Another stat I'm going to throw out. This is, as you said, it was even. It's the closest it's ever been in Sprint Cup history. It's never been even before.
Yeah, I mean, the closest it had ever finished was 8 points.
Yeah.
So this beat that.
That was Kurt Busch beating Jimmy Johnson.
Yep, back in 2004, Kurt Busch defeating Jimmy Johnson. Hats off to my man Smoke. He did all the trash talk, and he backed up the trash talk.
And much respect to Carl Edwards. He said, I wanted to win, but I'm going to be the most gracious loser NASCAR's ever seen. So.
And he definitely was that. I mean, a class act. He took it on the chin. I mean, and he stood up like a man, and hats off to him. Hats off to, everybody. And, the countdown is on, boys. 96 days. I've already got the countdown in place. 96
days.
days.
The shortest off seasons in sports.
About 3 months.
Yeah, it's about.
And they really don't get that long because you got Daytona testing in January and all the other stuff. And I think it's kind of ironic. The Sprint Cup Series banquet will be airing on Speed next Friday night at 9 o'clock Eastern live. Reba McEntire is the host, which is pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. Reba.
But a special guest musician will kick off the show with I Was Born Free, and I think you all know who that is, Kid Rock. Now, the ironic thing in all this is Kid Rock was the narrator for the Tony Stewart documentary that came out several years ago. Tony Stewart wins the championship. Kid Rock kicks off the show. So, just a little thing I'd like to throw out there to you guys. So, yet again, congrats to my man Smoke. Congrats to NASCAR on an epic 2011 season, and look forward to the 2012. So
I just keep noticing Domo. You can't see Domo this time around.
He's coming
It is
up.
Domo underneath that hat, by the way, guys.
He's wearing the championship hat.
He's Tony Domo today.
That's right, Tony Domo. So, moving on, Doctor, if you would, give us a little recap about the NCAA weekend.
At the beginning of the year, I said Iowa State, when they beat Iowa, pretty well, and that these guys can make a difference. These guys are what we call bracket busters. They lived up to their name, taking Oklahoma State 2 overtimes to beat them 37-31. This shakes up the BCS in a very unique fashion. For the first time, not only do we have 3 teams from the same conference, we have 3 teams in the same division of a conference. The SEC West is 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. LSU, Alabama, and Arkansas. And if LSU beats Arkansas, we are set up for the national championship, as it should be. LSU, Alabama, round 2.
I posted it on our Facebook page. I call it the Bizarre Championship Series. It's crazy how things change, and Oregon losing.
Absolutely.
They're out. Stanford's back in the hunt. They're 6 or 5. Yeah. They're back in it. But I agree with you. Again, there's not a lot of time left for teams to make a lot of jumps and pushes. So you're probably looking at LSU, Alabama again.
Congrats to U of L. They're bowl eligible.
They are bowl eligible.
They went to UConn and defeated UConn. Now here's the crazy thing: Louisville, with a record of 6-5, kid you not, can actually go to the BCS. And you're thinking, what? How does that happen?
The automatic bid.
They're actually in first place right now in the Big East. With
That's sad. That's sad.
But they actually, their record doesn't show how good they've done in the conference. Right. They're 4-2 in the conference.
That's good.
If they win this week, and Rutgers, I believe, who's tied with them, loses,
And Cincinnati loses. Too.
and Cincinnati loses, Louisville will actually go to the Orange Bowl to play Virginia Tech.
Yeah, which is just insane. And people want to see this game. If I'm a U of L fan, I don't want to see this game because I don't think they can.
No.
No,
This is not like the year where Louisville was one game away from going to the national championship. They were 12-1, and they played Wake Forest and they annihilated them.
I mean,
so.
and I'm not hating on U of L. I'm actually trying to be a very non-biased commentator here. Virginia Tech will just utterly decimate U of L.
They're going to
wallop
them.
An embarrassment.
It would definitely be
This is not a team with like they had it at the Orange Bowl when they played Wake Forest with Brian Brom and Michael Bush. That's not this team.
Right, absolutely.
It's just, if I'm a U of L fan, I'm actually hoping, it's great for bragging rights. You can hold it over Kentucky and you can hold it over West Virginia, but from a logical standpoint, I don't want to see that game.
No.
If I'm a U of L fan,
I don't want to turn the TV on and see like Virginia Tech up like 24 points.
It definitely would bring ratings down to.
But I do agree with the sentiment though. I mean, like it is an amazing accomplishment because when you look at what this team has done, they really have done very well for themselves.
Right. I mean, they're all freshmen and sophomore mostly,
with the exception of Modern Warfare 3 Hell Week for them. I mean, if
they had screwed up and won that, they'd really be in good shape.
7-4.
They'd be 5-1 right now in the conference.
Oh yeah, really good.
7-4 overall.
Yeah.
Nothing out of the ordinary happening in basketball.
No, not really.
Really, I mean, everybody who should be winning is winning.
Right.
Although last night, Memphis, ranked in the top 10, did lose to Michigan in the Maui Invitational.
Okay.
So, and that's always a good tournament if you're a big college basketball fan or a big basketball fan, period, because obviously there's no NBA. Yeah. You want to check out the Maui Invitational because that's always definitely...
the only time the Chaminade Silver Swords get any airtime.
Yeah, if you didn't know, just to let you know, there is no NBA this year. It's obviously highly unlikely they have anything to salvage from this year. Games have been canceled to the 15th of December. Mm-hmm. So right now it looks like if there's any more talk with the owners and the players for a season, they're probably just a reconstruction for next year. So unfortunately, if you're a basketball fan, that stings, but it is what it is.
I think there may never be an NBA again. I mean, they're just so divided on these subjects. I mean, I've asked several people, do you think there might never be an NBA again? They've all said it's a possibility. Maybe another organization comes out and starts over because we saw that with the ABA. The ABA had a similar situation. The NBA started gaining strength and we had the merger to the NBA. As goofy as the movie was, a Semi-Pro was actually fairly close rendering of what actually happened between the ABA and
Maybe
NBA.
we'll see the Kentucky Colonels again.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible. And then, I have to say, the NBA not happening will be the greatest thing that ever happened for college basketball because you are going to have not only the kids at Kentucky, but the kids at North Carolina, as much as it kills me to say it, the kids at Duke, the kids at Michigan State, though they're not ranked. Tom Izzo has a great young class in there this year. There's just next year, if nobody goes pro, and I have no reason to think they will, it's still early. Mm-hmm. I personally think there'll be no one and dones, and next year could be the greatest college basketball season anyone's ever seen.
There's going to be a huge gap normally that there isn't before in sports. Like you usually have basketball through these months, and Christmas Day there's a game and stuff like that. This year they don't have that this year.
Right.
So,
just a quick note on you were saying the word kid, kind of something clicked in my head. My man Sid the Kid. Came back last night after being off with concussion-like symptoms since January. And you would think, okay, yeah, he come back. Yeah, they're playing the Islanders at home. Sell out. A lot of people want to inspect. But are you freaking kidding me?
Not so fast.
2 goals and 2 assists in his comeback. They score 5 times. He has a hand in 4 of them. Freaking phenomenal comeback. It doesn't get much better than that. Glad to see Sidney Crosby back out on the ice. He's definitely the face of the NHL.
Absolutely.
It's obvious, even for the casual fan. A lot of people that don't know about NHL, when they see Sidney Crosby,
they know who that is.
They know who that is. So just to throw that out there.
Right.
And now to recap last week's NFL. And if you take a look at thank you, Big B. You lost ground again.
9-5, but here's the I'm only down 7 games to both of you, and now, if you see on the screen, it's a tie.
It is a tie, Doc. We've come all this way. We're
We
still
have.
tied. I mean,
we're still tied.
I went 11-3
Yep.
because we picked every game the same except for one.
So that means he is top domo.
Thank you. And you went 10-4. Big B went 9-5. We both are 101-59, which is pretty good.
If we were betting, like I told you before the show, if we were betting $1,000 a game, we'd be rich.
It's funny. I didn't think this is real. I thought it was a joke, but it's serious. I watched Fox NFL Sunday. Our winning percentage is better than theirs.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Well,
That's
I don't know
awesome.
if it's mine, but it's definitely yours. They're like some of the records.
Yes.
Like because I don't think they don't pick every game every Sunday.
Right.
So like some of the records are like 16 and 22. They're like well below 500.
Right. But still, that's even phenomenal. And you know why we're having such a good year?
Why?
Well, why are we having such a good year?
Well, why don't you just take a look at the screen?
Oh, no, another one.
Yeah. Just watch.
Did you ever know that you're my T-Bone? And everything I would like to be. The way that you play should be illegal. And there's no way you'll see a ring.
Are you freaking kidding me? Tim Tebow again!
I mean, I call Postmaster. This is how this went down. Last week I called Postmaster because, you know, we've been filming the show on Thursday last couple weeks because
Right.
I've had a poker tournament that's been ongoing on Tuesdays. And I said, Postmaster, I got to get on this Broncos over the Jets thing. And he said, I think I might have to go with you. He said, what's your reasoning? And I said exactly what I said on the show last week, the fact that it's a short turnaround.
Yeah, I have to. I know the camera won't capture, but I have to stand up and applaud. I'm serious. Applaud your reasoning for why you picked the Broncos.
It was awesome.
It was a great pick, and I wish of any game this year, I wish that
we
was
would
the
have bet
one.
on. I wish we would have
I wish
had
it
money
was.
on that
Oh
one.
my gosh, it was just amazing. We're
You
sitting
probably
here-
have a real belt right there.
Well, I mean, we do.
And I mean, we're sitting here at Big B's place, and we're watching the game, and Tebow runs that ball in, and me and Gary like a bunch of screaming kids, like, yes, go, yeah! I was like,
amazing.
it was
I mean,
amazing.
it's amazing that the Broncos are 4-1 with Tim Tebow at the helm.
And yet, John Elway comes out yesterday, and he still says, I'm not sure I have my quarterback.
But then the look on his face while this game was, they showed
Right.
the box.
Yeah.
I mean, it says it all. And I think he has a little bit more faith because of the news that broke right before the show started. The Broncos have put Kyle Orton on waiver.
Bye-bye.
See ya!
So, to me, they still have Brady Quinn, who is a phenomenal quarterback in his own right.
Well,
Well, not phenomenal. He's a great quarterback.
College, he was great.
He's
Yeah.
a good quarterback.
he hasn't panned out to be that great.
I think John Elway has found his guy. He just doesn't want to admit that he's wrong.
Right.
And, you know,
Because
that's perfectly understandable.
the reason I think that Elway doesn't want to admit that Tebow is his guy is because they might have similar playing styles. Because Elway was a runner too, so.
But Elway could pass.
Well, yeah, I think Tebow is going to get there.
Right, but and here's the thing, and this is the conundrum that John Elway's going to run into. I'm just throwing it out there, but okay, the Broncos are 4-1 with Tim Tebow at the helm. Call it what you want, call it whatever. I'm sorry, Tebow has a hand in it.
Oh yeah.
People are saying, "Oh, the defense is playing better."
No.
Okay, that's fine. Yes, they are. They are playing a little better, but Tim Tebow is the reason why they're winning these games.
I know it sounds odd. You'd be like, whoa, hold on a second. But I can compare it to Peyton Manning with the Colts. The offense revolves around him.
Right.
With Tim Tebow at quarterback, the offense revolves around him, and the gameplay of the Broncos plays better.
So at the end of the year, if the Broncos make the playoffs, and even if they don't win a game, let's just say they make the playoffs,
Yeah.
and they come out and say, "Well, we're Tim Tebow's not the starter next year," there's going to get so much hate and flack in Denver. It's going to be unfreaking believable.
I mean, you thought there was hate before for not starting him, and he does this well, and you don't start him. That's ridiculous.
That would be an utter shame. That would be terrible.
That would be terrible.
So some other big games to get on about last week. Your San Francisco 49ers, yet again.
Very impressive win over the Arizona Cardinals. They've played 10 games this season, but reaching back to 11 games at the last game of regular season last year, and starting now The San Francisco 49ers have now gone 11 games without allowing a rushing touchdown.
Yeah, and speaking of rushing touchdown, the Seahawks actually beat their rivals in the NFC West, the St. Louis Lambs, 24-7. And speaking of rushing touchdown, this is the 6th straight game Marshawn Lynch has had a rushing touchdown. So I was watching the game, and it was kind of confusing because they want Tavares Jackson to be their quarterback, and I actually read an article today, some fans' perspective, maybe the Seahawks would trade for Andrew Luck, I don't know. But it was just perplexing me. I mean, the Seahawks were winning the game at the time, but it's like they weren't passing the ball, they just kept running the ball. It's like, pass the ball, you have receivers, use them. I don't understand that. But good win by the Seahawks, they're now 4-6. So.
And my Colts won this week.
They didn't play.
Exactly.
They needed to buy.
That's right. That's why they won, because they weren't playing.
They needed to buy to lick their wounds.
I think another game we definitely have to mention here is the Buccaneers giving the Packers all they want and a little bit more. Yeah. I mean, that was just
one of the best games on Sunday.
It was. And you thought it was going to be an absolute trouncing.
Wallop.
35-26 was the final score in that one, and it went down to the wire.
Right,
it really
absolutely.
did.
Another game now. The Cowboys won in overtime over the Redskins, and the Giants lost. So now you have a first place tie between the Cowboys and the Giants in the NFC East.
The Giants should have never lost to the Eagles. No. That was a fail.
Eli Manning gotta hold on to that ball.
Yeah, that was not good at all.
Another game I was going to mention. See at the top, the first game of the week. Detroit, they had to scratch and claw, but they ended up coming back and beating the Panthers, who gave them a good run for the money in the beginning.
So. Week 11, a lot happened. I guess now we're moving on to Week 12. As again, Big B will put it on the... You'll take a look at the standings. And since you're still top dyno because of previous
the honor system,
we will allow you to kick it off. Guys, we got a very awesome lineup for Thanksgiving football.
It is awesome.
If you're a football fan, these 3 games are going to be really good.
Enjoy the 3 Fs on Thanksgiving. Family, food, and football.
You're thinking the Dolphins versus Cowboys, but the Dolphins are freaking on a streak.
They have
played a lot better.
I'll say it again. The last 2 weeks, they've walloped the teams they've played. The Bills and the Chumps.
Yeah. So, with that being said, we'll start it off with probably one of the hardest games to pick of the week.
Very.
The Green Bay Epics versus the Detroit Cowardly Lions.
In Detroit, mind you.
I want to say, if there is, I'm going to start off by saying if there is any game that Green Bay is going to lose this year, it's going to be this one. I've still got to pick Green Bay, though, because I don't think Aaron Rodgers against the Buccaneers just had a terrible day.
Yeah.
I just don't see him being non-human 2 weeks in a row. I got to go with Green Bay.
Now, here's the thing. Previous Thanksgiving Day games, the Lions, they were abysmal. They were horrible.
People even said, get them off the
screen. Yeah, the year they went 0-16, the next year they were saying, I don't want them on Thanksgiving anymore. I don't want to see this team on my TV. But this year, they are respectable. They are a good team. And this is the game they get hyped up for every year. They're playing at home. The crowd's going to be into it. Green Bay, first loss of the year. I go with Detroit.
He goes with the Detroit, huh? Wow. I mean, it's definitely going to be tough. But the Packers, I can't pick against the Packers. I'm sorry. Can't do it.
All right.
The Miami Dolphin Tails going to the Jones Dome to play the Cowgirls.
This is another tough one. They've been on a streak. They definitely found some weapons in DeMarco Murray and Lauren Robinson, who was a hot pickup on waiver wire.
And Romo's playing very well.
Miami is on a heck of a streak. They figured out some things, but I think the streak ends for Miami. I'm going to go with Dallas.
It's in the Jones Dome. It's Thanksgiving. Cowboys are hyped up. Go Cowboys.
I say the Cowboys. And now the...
Can I do this one? Can I do this one?
No, because you won't say it.
Yeah, you won't say it, so I'm going to do it. It's the Hardball Bowl.
It's the Hardball.
Hardball.
The Hardball.
Okay, either way, the Hardball Bowl.
That's what I wanted to say, because I
the Baltimore Ratbirds versus the San Francisco 49ers.
You know, Baltimore is opening up the line at 3.5. They're getting 3.5 points against San Francisco. I think San Francisco is going to pull this one out. They're on a roll. Harbaugh is equivalent to Rick Pitino in basketball. He is a master preparer.
Which Harbaugh?
Which Harbaugh? Jim Harbaugh, sorry. Coach Jim Harbaugh for the 49ers is a master preparer. He's laid out the game plans, what they're going to do to prepare for this. The only thing that worries me is the 6-hour travel day. I got to go with the San. Every time I've not picked them, it's
Right.
bit me in the butt.
Right.
So I'm picking them this time.
Right. Here's the thing. The Ravens are at home, but here's the thing. The 49ers have one of the best, if not the best, run defense in all football.
They do. It's number one.
And that's the basis of look when they played the Seahawks. They ran Ray Rice like what, 3 times? Not a lot. And they lost. So if the Niners can shut that running game down against Baltimore, the Niners are gonna win this game. I picked the Niners.
I picked the Baltimore Ravens.
I will say this though: look for Torrey Smith to have a big game.
The Minnesota Pirates versus the Atlanta Falcons.
They're not going to fail this week. Christian Ponder has been playing excessively better. Percy Harvin's been getting a lot more involved, but with the loss of Adrian Peterson, I have to go with the Falcons. If they had not lost Peterson, I would be going the Vikings.
Again, last week, I picked Tennessee, and it looked bad in the beginning, but Tennessee made a nice little comeback. But Minnesota, like I said, like Doctor said, without Adrian Peterson, I can't pick the Vikings. I went the Falcons.
I picked the Falcons. The Houston Mexicans go on the road to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I got to go with Houston.
Jack, I don't know if I want to say it, but I'm going to. Jacksonville, okay, last week, they played the Browns, okay? It's 14-10. Jacksonville has one of the best running backs in the AFC, and Maurice Jones-Drew. They're on the 2-yard line.
Firm with Maurice Jones-Drew, by the way.
Well, there's 2 law firms.
Yeah.
Ben Jarvis Green Ellis and
Maurice
Jones-Drew. Anyway, back to my point. They're on the 2-yard line. So you figure, just give it a Drew up the middle. Maybe a sweep outside. They can win. Final score, Browns 14, Jacksonville 10. Pick Houston.
All right. The Tampa Bay Watcher
You
Buccaneers.
didn't say it. You wrote it down. But you didn't
Sorry,
say it.
I picked Houston. Tampa Bay versus the Tennessee Two Steps.
After last week's Tampa Bay, I just don't see them. I don't see them doing it twice in a row, giving a team all that they can handle like Green Bay. I don't see that happening again. I gotta go with Tennessee.
Again, it's up in the air if Matt Hasselbeck will play. You'll know by Friday if Hasselbeck's going to play. He has an elbow injury, and Jake Locker came in. He did pretty well. It's at home. I have a strong feeling Hasselbeck's going to get back and get playing, so I'm going to go with Tennessee.
Yet again, I'm disagreeing with you both. I think the Buccaneers are going to win.
And what could be the first toilet bowl game of the week?
The Arizona Fighting Cardinals versus the St. Louis Rams.
St. Louis has...
It's at St. Louis.
For the first time in about 4 or 5 weeks, Beanie Wells is completely healthy. He's been having a great year. John Skelton's been a little...
He got benched last
He got
week.
benched last week. But
Who?
I don't even remember his name.
Yeah, I know.
I can't remember. But Larry Fitzgerald has still been on... Now that he's got some more confidence with his quarterbacks, his quarterbacks are helping.
I was going to mention that. Even though the Niners won 23-7, correct?
Mm-hmm.
That pass, I don't know the quarterback's name, but he threw a pass just over 2 defenders for San Francisco, and Larry Fitzgerald called. That's how good he is.
With all that being said, I've got to go with the Cardinals.
The Lambs lost last week to the Seahawks at home. I think the Cardinals are slightly better than the Lambs. I'm picking the Cardinals. Are you going to be a Lamb and pick the Lambs?
I'm going to go against the Lambs
Okay.
and pick the Cardinals.
So no one this week is being a Lamb.
The Buffalo Bisons against the New York Fails.
This is another team.
Because they failed this year, and they failed
Came out of
again.
nowhere.
Yeah.
This is another game where I've got to go. I mean, I've got to say this, like you said about Detroit earlier. Buffalo's got to get to the early season form. They're on a downward spiral. They just need to figure a few things out. Is all. They're there.
Give the ball to Stevie Johnson.
Yeah,
There you
Stevie
go.
Johnson.
Hello.
You can say the same thing about Tom Brady. Give the ball to Wes Welker. He's your best receiver. I got to go with the Jets, though.
The last 2 weeks, the Bills have got walloped last week against the Dolphins, and then the week before that against the Cowboys. Jets are playing at home. I like the Jets.
I go with the Jets.
Another toilet bowl game.
The Carolina Cam Newtons against the Indianapolis
Dolts.
I'm glad I have Cam Newton on my fantasy team this week.
They're playing in the drum.
Like that matters.
Drum.
Playing on Mars.
Cam
who cares?
Newton and Steve Smith get ready to have a hell of a game. I'm picking the Panthers.
Sorry, Indy. You're going to go 0-11. I picked the Carolina Panthers.
The Dolts are coming off a bye week.
Does that mean anything to me?
Let me finish my segment here, my statement. They're coming off a bye week. They're playing at home. Carolina lost a tough one to Detroit.
But they played well in the beginning.
They did play well in the beginning, and then they folded like a beach chair in the end. However, with that being said, I'm still saying they are over, and I'm picking the Carolina Panthers.
0-11. That's just pathetic.
Now the Ohio Bowl.
Round 2.
Round number 2. The Cleveland Brownie Mix versus the Cincinnati Bungles.
They're kind of falling
They're
apart
not
too.
bungling today. They're not bungling this week. They're at home. I'm picking the Bengals.
Yeah, the Bengals need to rebound. They lost a couple of games in their division. Steelers and then the Ravens need to rebound, and they get a win here. I go with the Bengals.
I go with the Bengals as well. Another toilet bowl game of the week. It is. The Washington Redheads, or Gingers, as I've been told to refer them to. The Washington Gingers against the Seattle Seafails.
It's at Quest Field. Marshawn Lynch makes it 7 rushing touchdown games in a row.
I like it.
I'm going Seattle, and the score of this one might be 7-0.
Again, it's tough to categorize Seattle just because the fact sometimes when they play teams that are they're bad. Like when they played the Browns, they lost like 6-3, but then they beat the Giants and the Ravens. So they kind of either play up to the competition or play down to it. But with all that being said, Seattle's at home. I like their chances. I like Marshawn Lynch playing really well. I go with Seattle.
All right, moving on from there. Oh, I'm sorry. I picked Seattle.
I've saved you twice now.
Thank you. Woo!
I do want to add one thing to this game. I think when Seattle votes for team MVP, they got to give the votes to Quest Field. That has been their biggest weapon this year.
It is.
The Oakland Carson Palmers
How about Al Davis?
versus the Chicago Black Bears.
Without Jay Cutler.
And they're at Oakland.
I got to go Oakland.
It depends. Like we said earlier, that Kyle Orton is on waivers, so does that mean the Bears pick him up? It'd be a smart thing for them to do, but I'm going to go with the Raiders just because they're at home.
You're going with Oakland, and I say you guys are right. But!
What? You can't be right, but.
No, so you guys are right
Yeah.
regarding them being at home. They are starting Caleb Haney, but the Bears are better than Oakland, even without Jay Cutler. And I say, go Bears.
Where's your mustache and beard?
Anyway. The New England Unpatriotics against the Philadelphia Fails.
So wait, you have the Philadelphia Fails and the New York Fails now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they fail. They failed. All they've done is fail.
This is going to be a shootout. The final score of this will be 100-99. This is going to be a shootout.
Really? What? With Vince Young at the helm? Are you serious?
Yeah. I mean,
He's loopy.
I'm just saying it's been a weird year.
What's in your water? What'd you put in there?
I'm going New England.
I was waiting actually to do the picks to comment on this. I know the Patriots, beat the Chiefs last night 34-3, but something I saw that was breaking down for the Patriots was their offensive line. I think Brady got sacked like 6-7 times. He got sacked a lot last night. With that being said, New England puts Philadelphia out of their misery. They eliminate them from any playoff contention. New England wins this game.
I go with the Unpatriotics. And now the Tim Tebow game of the week. The Denver T-Bows, because they are the Denver T-Bows, versus the San Diego Lightning Dolts, because they are the Dolts, the Lightning Dolts.
Yeah.
Timmy, you've had a hell of a run going 4-1. You're going to make it 4-2 this week, buddy. San Diego.
You just watch the game with the Chargers and the Bears. Philip Rivers just was playing awful. He's played awful all year. He has the most turnovers of any quarterback in the entire NFL. I say the Broncos win this game. San Diego is falling. They're falling flat.
As much as I love Tim Epic, And as much as I love the fact that he whipped your Jets last week, which was good, this is a tough pick. I mean, it's at San Diego. San Diego is definitely on a downward, free fall spiral. North Turner needs to go. It's time. It's just Phillip Rivers, you're playing like a rookie. I don't understand it. But all that aside,
They're just the better team. So.
I just think this is the week Denver takes control because Phillip Rivers he's not playing well.
But now that he's got Vincent Jackson back,
it doesn't mean anything. He turned the ball over twice last week.
You have him. You have Mike Tolbert. You have Vincent Jackson. Phillip Rivers has been playing bad, but that's been in large part due to the absence of Vincent Jackson.
I can't go against Tebow. I'm staying the Tebow way, and I'm going with the Denver Tebow.
I do hope they win, but I still got to stick with San Diego.
Probably the second. Oh, wait a minute. I'm getting ahead of myself. Hold on. Probably the wallop of the week. The wallop of the week. The Pittsburgh Penguins versus the Kansas City Chumps in Sunday Night Football.
I might have to go with Kansas. I'm just kidding.
I was going to say, really?
I said, really? I think he just wants to lose top dynamo. He doesn't care anymore. Kansas City's at home. But again, it doesn't matter. Kansas City can playing at home. We're playing on the moon. Pittsburgh is going to wallop the Chumps.
Definitely wallop the Chumps. And now probably the second best game of the week behind Sanford Failsco in Baltimore. The New York Gargantuans versus the New Orleans when the Saints go marching in.
If this game is anywhere else but the Superdome, the Giants win this game, but I'm going New Orleans.
I disagree. I think even if it was Giants anywhere else, I think the Giants would still lose. They're not playing great at all. Eli Manning...
But what are the odds of them losing 2 in a row at the Meadowlands?
I'm just saying, Eli Manning lost that game for them on Sunday. He fumbled. He threw a terrific pass to Victor Cruz, and they were inside field goal range around the 20-yard line. He just gave the game away. But, again, to the Superdome, I go with the Saints.
I go, when the Saints come marching in, I pick the Saints.
All right.
So, the pick'ems are, I'll say it again like we said a couple weeks ago, although apparently that didn't matter. The standings could definitely see a shake-up. Had a lot of different picks.
Between these two, I think I'm out of the running this time.
You're still in there. Hang in there,
7
buddy.
games back.
Hang in there, buddy. So, you know what? For once, in all the months and pay-per-views we've picked, for once, the doctor, apparently, he mind-tricked from his NFL pick'ems to the Survivor Series pick'ems.
No, he went undefeated.
He went undefeated.
I don't know how that happened.
Again, we'll get to the WWE a little later, but this week, once again, as you showed in the beginning of the show, our normal OVW interview. So this week, check out our another interview for OVW. Take a look.
Alright guys, welcome to Triple Threat Talk. This is our weekly interview with OVW. Today we have Superstar Chris Silvio. How are you, sir?
Dallas Superstar Chris Silvio. What are you doing, Chris? How you doing, sir?
Good.
What's your name? Jimmy.
So, we like to give our audience a feel for what happens here on a week-to-week basis. But I want to start by giving them an idea of what drew you to OVW.
Well, what drew me to OVW is the same as everybody else does. Money, and this is the best place in the world to wrestle. So that's what it's like about Superstar too in Louisville, Kentucky.
That's right.
What are your feelings about OVW and now becoming the official developmental territory for TNA?
Oh man, to be honest, any exposure is good exposure. I'm sure they'll be very quickly looking to sign Chris Silvio. So if you are watching, he is available and he is taking applications for his work.
You hear that? Chris Silvio is definitely active.
Check out the biceps. It's great on TV.
Those things are huge, man. I'm over here scared. So we got a question for you.
Yeah, please.
I'm going to take outside of the box a little bit of wrestling because, like I said, we like everyone to get a feel here. You got Thanksgiving football tomorrow. Who are you liking tomorrow?
What's up? You tell me what's on deck.
We got the Packers and we got the Lions. Who do you like?
Against the Lions.
Yes, sir.
Sure. I got to go with the Packers.
You got to go with the Packers.
Go with the Lions.
All right. And how about Dallas and Miami? They're at Dallas.
Let's just go ahead and say Dallas. It's Thanksgiving, Dallas Cowboys edition.
How about
like Chris Silvio?
How about the Harbaugh Bowl? We got Baltimore and San Francisco.
Oh, well, I'm just going to guess because I really don't care about other teams. But let's just say Baltimore.
There you go.
Not that he told me to say Baltimore. He did not tell me how to do it. So,
All right. Well,
I do my own pick.
here's your time to shine. Just say something. How do you feel? How do you feel about your situation? How do you feel about the holidays? What drives you to be you?
My time to shine, I'm always shining. I'm always the brightest star in any building, any arena I walk into. What drives me is that Chris Silvio is the hottest rising star in the business today, and hey, that's why I'm interviewed by such an illustrious show as my friends here, Jimmy and Paul over here. They're so great to put me on. I just want to say, keep watching OVW, keep watching Ring of Honor, keep watching TNA, because you just might see Chris Silvio become the next big.
All right, once again, I want to thank OVW for that great interview. Really appreciate us letting them do it each and every week. And again, I'll cover OVW real quick. Again, if you live in the Louisville area, go to channel 138 if you have Insight. 138, channel WBKI. Again, I'm pretty positive. Again, I post it every week.
You're right.
And then if you do not live in the Louisville area, you should definitely go to ovwrestling.com each and every Monday to check out their show. This past week was good. A few things. Fortunately, Alex Silva lost
That's a fail.
the TV title to Adam Revolver.
So now Adam Revolver is the tag team champion and the television champ.
What can you do? And then
How about that pile driver?
we'll get to that.
Wow.
Get to that. Then again, there was a 6-woman tag match between the champion Taylor Hendricks and the Blossom Twins.
Motorsports.
Taylor Hendricks Motorsports and the Blossom Twins versus Lady JoJo, Epiphany, and Taryn Shea. And Taryn Shea and Epiphany got fed up. Benjamin Bray came out and read Taryn Shea's diary, which was hilarious. So she went off, and Epiphany got mad, so she left, and then easily picking up the win was Taylor Hendricks Motorsports and the Blossom Twins. And then very good stuff from Rudy Switchblade playing the great part of the heel on Wednesday. Well, Wednesday the taping, Saturday if you watched it on TV. Playing a great heel, and he had his main event match with Jamin Valencia was very well done. Very good in-ring stuff by both men. And then at the end, Jamin gets pile driven, I guess that's the word, on the cement floor, but there's a steel chair there also, and very dangerous to do a pile driver once again. I actually spoke to Jamin on Sunday, once to the pay-per-view. He's doing okay. He's got a little bit of a concussion. He's not too sure if he's going to be at the TV tapings on Wednesday, but he's pretty banged up. He's going to want his revenge on Rudy Switchblade, and I can't blame him. So, two great talents in Rudy Switchblade and Jamin Valencia, so definitely keep a lookout for those two.
Right, absolutely. So
OVW for this week, and they're heating up.
They're doing
definitely
really well.
Gotta check it out.
Gotta definitely check out OVW.
Now getting to Survivor Series.
So 6-0, my friend.
What happened to us? What happened to us?
Well, let's see. We thought that Beth Phoenix would lose her title.
And not only did Beth Phoenix win, but she possibly pulled off the biggest move of the night, in my opinion.
That was pretty good. I mean,
she did. Now, Beth Phoenix, what's her finisher called?
The Glam Slam?
Right, the Glam Slam. It's pretty awesome. It's nothing great. It's awesome, but it's okay. How about it from the top rope?
That just made it that much better.
Right. Torres just face planted.
Face plant.
And that was it for you, Torres.
Yeah, I mean, there was just no getting up after that.
And another match, which I think we all agreed on this, Dolph Ziggler retained against John Morrison.
Yeah.
Didn't much surprise there. No. We all thought that would happen. Yes. The Team Orton versus Team Barrett. Hats off to Team Barrett.
Surprising it was down to, again, I didn't really like that it had to come down to Orton pretty much by himself against pretty much the Barrett barrage.
By the way, what about that epic return on Sunday?
Epic return?
Yeah, we saw the epic return of Botch Cara.
Sin Botch.
Sin Botch was in full force.
I think
and
he really
thanks to that
botulism,
he is out 6 to 9 months.
Is that confirmed?
With a ruptured patella tendon.
Here's the thing about, we'll go over the picture real quick. We'll get back on track. But I think the thing with Sin Cara is Rey Mysterio is a good example because he was in Mexico and he was taught by WCW and ECW, whichever you think about the ECW first.
Right,
but he was taught by the American wrestling organizations how to slow down, take it slow, and he was one. I don't like him personally. I respect him, but he's one of the best of all time, whether you like it or not. Sin Cara is in the same situation. Send him to Florida. Get the trainers to train him. He needs to slow down. He moves too fast.
Yes,
this is not Mexico.
I've been the biggest proponent for him being, him needing to be released because I think he's a danger to himself and others. But I think going back and looking at the tape, I think Kofi Kingston caused a little bit of a physics issue there. He took the momentum out of the rope. As you know, whenever you hit a rope or anything like that, you hit, because those ropes are strung tight.
Right.
You hit that rope, it's going to loosen it up a little bit. I think Sin Cara I think it was just a Kofi thing, and Sin Cara actually hit it at the wrong time. And when he hit, he lost the momentum that he had going over that. He just kind of belly flopped over, and that hit his leg. I think you saw a good example. Not trying to teach class here or anything, but I think you saw a great real-world example of physics. Unfortunately, it cost Sin Cara his health for the next 6
But I was surprised Wade Barrett won the match. Team Barrett.
I love it.
The Barrett barrage.
He's finally getting the push he deserves. With Randy Orton at ringside on Raw, I'm getting a little bit ahead, but he still pulls off the win over Kofi Kingston, a great wrestler in his own self. And Barrett's on a roll, and I think me and Postmaster are right, saying I don't mean to I'm not turning this into a Cody bashing session, but I think he wins the title before Cody.
Okay.
Obviously, you're still here, but the reason why I say that is because the Big Show won. But
there's a huge but there.
Actually, it's not so much but as it is front.
He didn't win the title because Mark Henry got scared. As Big Show said on Monday Night Raw.
He kicked him in the Big Show.
He kicked him in the Big Show, or maybe the Big Fail, depending on how you want to look at it.
I don't want to look at it.
I would hope not. But he retained his title via disqualification, so Big Show wins that match.
Hopefully that's done.
Now we have a new WWE champion,
Howard Finkel.
What?
Well, it was awesome to hear Howard Finkel say that.
Of course, but the new WWE champion, best in the world, CM Punk.
And I'm so glad he's brought back the Anaconda Vice. That move is just amazing.
And so we have that, and we have an epic promo involving him on Raw, which we'll get to in a minute. But first we need to cover the main event. The Rock and John Cena are victorious. But
over Awesome Truth.
No thanks to John Cena, but I think it's how The Rock wanted it, because The Rock took control, won the match, and then after the match, Rock bottomed John Cena. And Cena looked at him and said, "No more Mr. Nice Guy. You guys thought, well, that means he's going to be heel. You thought last night you would have saw a heel turn, but of course you didn't. Because, as always, you're disappointed in him going heel. I don't know if we'll ever see it. Maybe one day, but I just don't see it." But CM Punk comes out on Raw and says a couple things. Where are my ice cream bars?
Exactly.
And he wants to get rid of John Laurinaitis.
That's not really a shocker, though. He's been wanting to get rid of John Laurinaitis for a while.
Laurinaitis.
He's the executive vice president of talent relations and interim general manager of Raw.
I did not know that.
He's a teacher.
So he said, "Give the fans what they want, John. You're all about the universe, John. They want to see Zack Ryder," not kidding, versus Dolph Ziggler. Not me versus Dolph Ziggler. But John Laurinaitis said that Zack Ryder was busy against Alberto Del Rio. So therefore he made a champion versus champion match. Another yawn, like we haven't seen that a million times over.
I don't care what these two say. That match between Ziggler and Punk was phenomenal. Had me on the edge of my seat. One of the best matches I've seen on Raw all year. Match was phenomenal. Great stuff by both guys. Excellent.
You're embarrassing yourself.
Excellent. You know, I don't think so.
I'm starting to believe his man crush has floated from Cody to Dolph.
You know
That's what it is.
Screw these two. Okay, I am saying.
Sorry, you're not my type.
I'm saying right now. It's on camera right here. When it's all said and done, I don't care if these two make fun of me. I don't care. When it's all said and done, I think Dolph Ziggler will go down as one of the best of all time.
Wow, are you kidding me?
No, I am not.
No way. That's not gonna happen.
Congratulations, Mickey from the Spirit Squad. You've been
Mickey!
You've been anointed by Big B.
Yeah. So way to go.
Join Sheamus and Cody Rhodes in the bathroom.
You're just jealous because they're all epic. More epic than your people.
So, basically, it was a good match. It wasn't as epic as he makes it out to be. CM Punk gets the win.
I think the best match of the night was Wade Barrett versus Kofi.
Kofi Kingston.
We had a very quick match involving Santino Marella and Cody Rhodes. Which, that was a fail.
Cody Rhodes annihilated.
Oh my
I'm surprised you didn't say that was the best match of the night.
How can I say that? The match was like 2 minutes.
Yeah, but how could you say that Dolph Ziggler versus CM Punk match was that good when CM Punk carried him the whole time?
Because I think during that match, you all had your eyes closed. My eyes were wide open.
My eyes were wide open.
Really?
You know what I saw?
You know what?
Bad wrestling.
You know what I saw? I saw CM Punk saying, "Look into my eyes and you will see."
Yeah, but
the cult of personality.
Did you see what CM Punk said after the match?
What?
He said, "You're good, kid. I will see you again."
So what?
He probably was supposed to say that.
Yeah.
That mean he meant it.
Yeah, it didn't mean he meant it. We all know he's a fail. But anyway, so John Cena comes out to close the show. Basically is saying a whole lot of nothing. Other than, you know...
I mean, how can you hate Cena? Because, like, the fans were chanting things like Fruity Pebbles.
That was hilarious!
Don't tag Cena. You suck. He just ate it all up.
He ate it all up. And
I like how The Miz got the crowd going, though.
Yeah, I did.
Miz Truth come out. And John Cena starts saying, well, he thinks that you're this. And then he looks at The Miz and says, well, he thinks you're this.
And Cena was on fire last night. He you know, basically... said he's gonna smack the dreads out of R-Truth's hair and sell it to Mr. T. He talked about the Miz slapping his makeup off. Oh, it was great.
I'm surprised that wasn't deemed a little bit racist. That was crazy.
I mean, Cena was on fire.
But Cena was definitely on fire.
That's the Cena I like. That's the only Cena I like.
Right. So it kind of left a little dissension. Cena just walks away. So in closing, R-Truth smacks the Miz. I mean, right enough. He's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. It's Cena! He's trying to get us to turn against him. Let's go get him.
Yeah.
So they're going back to get him. But what happens?
Not so
Miz, I think Miz Truth is probably done.
Just like I said last week.
Skull crushing finale on the ramp.
But why?
Well,
little Jimmy is in trouble!
Breaking news today. R-Truth, wellness policy. Womp, womp, womp.
Join your buddy Evan Bourne.
And Heath Slider.
And his milk true moo.
Wow.
But yeah, wellness policy, R-Truth.
Oh, how could I forget Kevin Nash? But anyway, just on a minute.
Oh yeah, Kevin Nash came out and cut a promo for like, what, 3 minutes?
Yeah. And yet again, no Triple H like they promoted.
Well, to me, I know we both watch it, but to me, if you gave Kevin Nash a little gray face, he looked like Taylor from Terra Nova with the beard.
So wrestling is now building to TLC,
which
they don't want no scrubs. And
wow, there's a 90s reference for you.
Wow, don't go chasing waterfalls, Doctor.
Please stop. Anyway, as he mentioned, TLC is being built up. One of the matches that probably is going to happen, actually 2 matches, is CM Punk's probably going to defend the title against Del Rio again, and you're probably going to see Nash versus Triple H. So
let's just don't creep to the end of the pay-per-view.
Another 2 things that I want to mention real quick before we close the show here. There's a promo for Kane. It had a mask in it, so does that mean Mask Kane's coming back? It could be. There's another promo, if you saw it. It's called It Begins 2012. Has a kid in a desk. He's talking about something. Possibly could be The Undertaker. He stated the date was January 2nd. That's actually a Monday. So we'll see what that happens. It could be Undertaker. They need to do something with The Undertaker because WrestleMania is right around the corner. They need to have something to do with him. So
I usually love people's opinions, and I'm not knocking you because you started this before I could even chime in. There are so many stupid predictions and, you know, whatever about this. Y2J's been thrown out there. AJ Styles. JBL.
The funny thing was, last year with The Undertaker's promo, people speculated with Sting, and not to knock people, but that was partially true at one point because they were going to get him.
Yeah.
But people were saying, like, it's Skip Sheffield. Like, who cares?
Yeah. You know, and then, like, I'm just not even going to put a name out there because it's stupid. This is one case where I actually don't think The WWE put a promo out. I think it could be any number of people, and I'm not even sure. This is like the Raw General GM thing to me. I don't think they know who it is.
But again, obviously as weeks progress, get closer and closer to January 2nd and Kane. We'll see what happens with that. Another thing I want to mention, I completely forgot. 2 things on Raw that was supposed to happen last night and did not, and I have no reason why. I didn't do the research. I don't know why. Brodus Clay supposed to make his return, didn't. And WWE was supposed to have a guest star last night. It was supposed to be Jonah Hill. Was not there.
That's right.
Yeah.
He wasn't there.
He wasn't there. You're right.
Promote that stupid movie, the babysitting movie. I didn't show up so I can see that stupid commercial again.
Right.
So,
absolutely.
but Jonah Hill was supposed to be on last night. Did not show up. Don't know why. But what are you gonna do?
So, moving on from that, I think it's now time for our Idiot of the Week.
Drum roll, please.
And our Idiot of the Week has to go to a guy, Jake Plummer. And you're like, no, not who you would think. Jake Plummer, former Denver Broncos quarterback.
Former Arizona Cardinal.
And former Arizona Cardinal. Come out today or yesterday, I'm not sure which, the other day, and stated that he's tired of Tim Tebow saying, I love Jesus Christ so much. You know what? Get over yourself, Jake Plummer. You don't sit there and say stuff like that. Well, you shouldn't bring up the word I love Jesus Christ on the field so much or talk about it so much. It's his faith. It's his religion. He's allowed to say what he wants. He has that right.
Yeah.
You cannot deny him that right to say that.
Right.
That is ridiculous.
Jake, you're in the public guy. Everything you say is documented. Sometimes you need to keep your mouth shut.
And this is it's embarrassing for him because right now he's just buying into the stigma that's holding this country back. And I don't like to get too political, but what's happening in this country is Christianity is being demonized. And I think that Tim Tebow is actually doing the right thing, putting his faith out there.
Right, absolutely.
And Jake Plummer's just, if I could cuss, I'd call him an effing idiot. He's just stupid. I mean, who does this? I mean, it's a sickening comment, and I think if you lead more and more into it, why attack Christianity? I mean, Christianity is being, you don't want to aid that. If I'm Jake Plummer, I don't want that on my record. Just like you said, you're open to the public eye. Why would you say something so utterly atrocious and ridiculous? It's stupid.
Tim Tebow did come out with a response. He said, I say I love Jesus Christ because I do love Jesus Christ. It is like if you said, okay, don't say that anymore, Tim. That would be like saying, okay, Postmaster, no longer can you say I love Stephanie, my wife, any longer.
Didn't he say you can only say it once a day?
Yeah, you're like saying, oh, so you're only supposed to say that once a day, or you're only supposed to say that when you get married. No, that's wrong.
Ludicrous.
That is ludicrous. That would never happen because I do love my wife a whole lot, and I tell her all the time, every morning and whenever I can. So, no, Jake Plummer, you are definitely our Idiot of the Week.
You might be the idiot for the next few weeks.
Before we close the show here, I know today was Thanksgiving. Had a great meal, as hope you all did.
I actually worked for a while, but then I had
before we close the show.
I'm actually in Iowa right now.
Whoa! He's doing the show via satellite.
We film this on. We're filming this on.
What are you, The Rock?
We're filming
a satellite.
We're filming this on Tuesday. We want you guys to have a great Thanksgiving. Before we close the show, again, we're gonna go around and see what we're thankful for. We'll go with the doctor first.
I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for good health, and I'm thankful for Erica. I love you, baby. Love of my life, and I'm also thankful for the talent I've got. People wanted to say that they want to get to know us a little bit better, but I'm thankful for the talent I've recently discovered the last couple of years. I started playing poker 3 years ago. I love it. I'm very thankful for it, and pretty good. So.
I'm thankful for my mom and dad, for my in-laws, Terry and Steve, my mom and dad, Ray and Sue. I'm thankful for the love of my life, Stephanie. Stephanie, I love you dearly. I'm thankful to get to do this with you guys. You guys are my friends. Big B, Doctor, I'm thankful to have you guys as such good friends that we get along well enough we can do this show. I'm thankful for the ability to still get out there and ice skate. Although it was yet again another fail. We lost again this week, but I'm thankful to be able to do that and that I'm given that ability to even be out there every day. So.
I'm thankful for these two. I mean, this is probably one of the best things I've ever done with my life. I love doing the show each and every week. I love getting with these guys each and every week, doing the show. Wrestling in general was what brings us together. Again, I'm thankful for OVW giving us this great opportunity. I'm thankful for my family and my friends. The biggest one I'm thankful for is this show, just because the fact I love just doing this every week. I look forward to it every week, to be honest with you. I look forward to sitting down with these guys, talk about topics, talk about wrestling, giving our own opinions. I love it. We have so much fun doing the show. Let's talk about the picks, the lambs. If you saw the show a couple weeks ago, we were hysterical. It was great. So
this show is. I gotta say, I'm thankful for it too. Do a lot of good things, and like Big B said, I didn't know we had a higher winning percentage than the guys on Fox.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. I'm thankful for that.
So with that being said, if you want to follow us on Facebook, you can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/triplethreattalk. You can follow us on Twitter at triplethreattalk. And again, like I did last week, I will post the links to PostMaster's Twitter and the Doctor's Twitter. And if you want to send us any email or comment or anything you want, you can at triplethreattalk@yahoo.com. So for Triple Threat Talk, this is Big B.
This is Postmaster Jones.
And this is the Doctor.
See everybody. Enjoy Thanksgiving and enjoy the family, the food, and the football.
Happy Thanksgiving!
Happy Thanksgiving.